Hello friends, this is Randy Saleh, the Assistant Professor of Business, your instructor for marketing, 1311, and I'm just going to go over a few directions for our marketing plan. The marketing plan, of course, is the heart project for the course. It is 300 points, so it is really big, and let me give you some pointers and some instructions. Now, I have a case plan for you. This is Sophia. She's just received great news. I wish all of us could have this happen to us. Her uncle gave her a beautiful, fully loaded food truck. And she's a graduate of our own culinary arts program from Tarrant County College. And she's going to take advantage of this great Epicurean opportunity. And she's going to specialize in vegan, Latin, American, and Mexican cuisine. She believes that her vegan street tacos and quesadillas are a knockout and much healthier than the version of traditional street foods. So that is some of our case. Now, as I've always said, if you have your own idea for your own business plan and you want to make that into a marketing plan, that's perfectly fine. Just follow the same steps that we're doing right in here. So, but we're going to use Sophia for right now as our example. So as we write this is how we write. We do not redo the question. That's not what we need to do. This is our topic heading. So number one question, research. So for Sophia or your own business, we're doing some research. Now I do have the food truck industry report ready for you in the assignment links. And so here's questions, points of need to know for this example right in here. What's an overview of the food truck industry? We always start our marketing plan with a little bit of marketing research. So the food truck industry, and it's always good to go broad to very specific. So we have national, state, and our local level. What's the restaurant clientele of Dallas-Fort Worth area? And then I would specifically look at maybe how many Latin Mexican cuisine restaurants there are, and then go down to how many vegan restaurants there are. Again, this is easily done just by Googling a few things and looking at a few sites. What do we believe the generation most embraces veganism? Because we're trying to define our target market here. We're trying to get the information for that. Where can she park her food truck in Dallas and Fort Worth? There are some food truck parks. Will she need any type of permits? Just the basic research 101. And then, of course, what we drive straight to in the marketing plan is the target market. And again, we do not say everybody is hungry in Dallas-Fort Worth area, so everyone is in our target market. That would not be well because we've studied this so much in this class. We always want to focus on a most viable, smallest viable market. You know, the smaller the market, the sharper the focus, my friend, sharper, the smaller target. So she's got to identify this smallest viable market that she builds her business upon. This is the way to go, in my opinion. So this is the second question, and that's how you would do it too, target market. You should be able to find a primary and a secondary target. That is perfectly fine. We'd like to outline the appropriate markets, all right? And let's include a customer profile. Again, as specific as possible. The more narrow we paint this picture for her or for your own business, the better you're going to be able to identify and go after those customers. If we say everybody, then nobody is a part of our target. Okay, that's not what we want. Now this is a vegan cuisine, so it's going to be a little more expensive. It's certainly going to be unique. So there's certainly a customer base that we have to find out. So that's the second question. Third question, of course, what we've talked about in this course, customer relationships. We have to build those. You'll build those throughout your career for your own business or the businesses and organizations you work for. How can she benefit with that? What are some strategies she can keep track and communicate with her customers? We've done some loyalty matrix in class with her customers, so she invests the most time, she'll be able to identify them. All right, so we're looking for our true friends here. We really are. So what are some ideas that people, so they'll come back and be a lifetime customer? We know that we need that in our business and marketing plans. What's her competitive advantage? All right, how is she going to be different? Well, automatically she's different, just being a vegan type of a Mexican Latin food cuisine. So again, that's how her positioning and unique value is going to be different than her competitors. A nice positioning statement. And again, we could even mention some competitors here, you know, versus the Chipotles or whatever. What is she going to do differently? And how would you communicate that. We've got to give a brand. All right, we're going to work a little bit on branding here. So I know you've given her a good idea of building those relationships. Explain to Sophia again the importance of branding. Maybe give her a name. If you have a creative skill set, and a design logo would be great here. And again, you can pretty much find these things on the internet. But again, so we're giving her a brand, giving her a name. Why is it important? Why do some of the best companies, put so much in their brand? And we know that as consumers, we have relationships with the brand versus just the product. So give her that advice. There's your fifth question. Sixth question here. Whoa, that's a little bit too fast. Is going to be the product strategy. All right, a good daily menu. And maybe she could cater some events as well. Create a product strategy for that food truck. Again, we're basing this on our target markets. So what should she do? If we think catering, will we say, well, how much should be retail? How much should be catering? Should she do 70% retail trade and then 30% catering? What would you recommend? Just back up your answers. What type of events should she try to cater if she's going to do that? Any other products or services she could add to her business over time? Well, that's interesting. Again, we're always looking for things that are congruent, all right, synergistic to our business, but is there anything else that she could add? Here's your creativity right there. Number 7, pricing strategy. We've talked about this. Again, my friends, you can always go back. I have a video for every single area right in here that I've done. So again, what type of pricing strategy should she use? Again, I don't want to, we need to say, is it going to be premium or market penetration? I believe she's going to have to go for a higher price. Look at some of the margins that you would see in a restaurant industry, gross margin pricing, and bank it from there. And maybe even give us a few ideas, all right? What should be the average, in my opinion, the average ticket price, the average customer price that they're going to have on their ticket? They're going to have a lunch, they're going to have a drink, they're going to have dessert. What's the average plate cost? That's how we are able to look at our revenues. Number 8, looks like I've got a little bit of a mix-up here in my numbering system, but I'll go back and change that real quickly. Our location, and again, all you really even need to do right in here is just put the location. You don't have to put the number. DFW is a huge market. Where should Sophie locate her food truck during the weekdays? That's the cool thing of food truck. You can be in Dallas one day, you can be in Fort Worth the next, you could be in Arlington, you go to Collin County if you want to. But where do you think the best would? Maybe someday she could scale, all right, to a brick and mortar restaurant. Where would you suggest that location to be? The customer experience, okay? Yes, what is the experience that each customer should feel, all right, as they dine in Sophie's food truck, all right? Yeah. And so the promotional strategy that we've gone over, all right, you've got your paid, own, earn, shared. We're going over that in class. I have the video out there for you. This is what we pay for. This is what we own. This is what is earned. All right, this is what is shared. Where should she put her most of her communication? But again, any paid ads that you're going to do? Do you think she should be doing the majority of social media on her blogs? Be creative as possible in here. How can she get her word out to come to her events? And should she have deals of the day? And of course, the last one right in here is what type of social media? What are some tips that she can do to improve her social media presence? And again, I do have numbers here, but all you have to really do is just put your title, and we'll be in some really good shape right in there. And I have some, you guys are probably much more versed in social media than others. I do have some articles that you can look at in the article area, but again, a little bit of just Google searching. And anything we do, my friends, any sources we take, make sure that you are referencing that. So if you go on Google and find some really interesting information, it adds credibility to your paper. You always include a works cited page, even if you're using our book. Same thing here. So let's look at some of the directions. Obviously, this class is a blend class, has been a blended class, and so you want to work on this project a little bit each day on the times that we're not in class, and it'll go so much easier. It's 300 points. This is big. Some students have questioned, what do you mean he's senior vice president? Who's the audience here? Well, let's just say the audience could be a venture capitalist. The audience could be a bank. I'd like to think of it as this is the last step of the interview process for the job that you really, your dream job. And you're going to present it to a senior VP of marketing, for example. Would like to be employed. That's the kind of quality and professionalism it should have. If you do this the night before it's done, then it's not going to look really good. Hey, great, I'll grade it. We'll get through the course. But put your energy into this, because I've had many a student use their business projects in my classes as their writing examples, and it's helped them get positions. They put it on their LinkedIn page, as well as they taken it to one of their interviews, first interviews on their first professional job. So do that. Here's the grading criteria: content and explanation of your answers. You're not going to rewrite anything I've done. You're going to use your creativity. This is strategy, my friends. It's a strategy-based paper. I don't need to know why a target market is important. I mean, you can put a little bit of that in there, but you have to choose the target market for Sophia. You have to choose the target market for your own business, the customer relationships, the experiences. So it's very much strategy and creativity that you're using. Yeah, obviously application we've learned from the source and this course. Do I count on the quality of writing? Absolutely. The grammar and syntax. Would you want to give your work to a senior VP and let her read that with all sorts of grammatical errors in there? This is college, There's no room for that in the work world. Hey, there's always one or two little mistakes, but I mean, a paper filled with mistakes. Go by a writing center that we have at Tarrant County College. Every campus has one. Have someone proofread it and put all your quality into that. Again, the tips for success in any type of project you'll ever have in life: 80% of the problems will occur in the last 20% of the work. Okay, so if you start early a little bit each day, you find yourself really, really doing well. If you do try to do this the night before it's due, you'll find yourself in Dante's fifth circle of hell. That's from Dante's Inferno. And that circle is anger. You kind of be like, you know what, I could have done so much better, and here I am, I just got to get it done before the night. We will have plenty of time to do this paper. Okay, I've given each class, literally this has been open the first day of class. Anyone could have looked at it, certainly in the early parts of the semester, either fall or spring. And so there's absolutely no reason to turn this in late. Questions are always asked in advance, and I always have students do that again. But the day before, a couple days before the project is due, no, that's not a good time. And again, really don't email me your paper and say, hey, how does this look? As much as bring it to me in class, bring it to me in my office hours. I'll give you some pointers on that, but I just simply, nobody has time to read an entire plan and then do it and then say that, and here's all your corrections. That's not what we're doing. Do it in segments so I can see how you're doing that. We want to make it even more so. We've gone over SWOT, or situation analysis. We can do a full-blown SWOT or situation analysis and really blow this paper up. All right. So here's a grading rubric that I have for you. All right. So, my friends, your writing skills are some of the most important skills that you will take with you into your career. Unfortunately, and I love many of our English faculty, but composition writing has no place in the business world, or really the work world for that matter, unless you're going to go into academia. So we are looking at business writing. As I have formatted this assignment, that is the format you should use. Okay? Again, many of our advisory committee members that we have on our collegiate that help run the college, as far as they give us advice, and they said, you know what, many of the students coming out could be from 4-year schools to 2-year schools to graduate. We see a big drop off in the written communication and verbal communication, so it's very important. We include a title page. Get right back there. All right, a little sensitive mouse there. We always include a title page for our work. You name your work, you title it, and we know it's yours. Okay? Please save your project with your file name, and don't put my name, put your name. All right, John Doe, the marketing plan. Okay, now Randy Saleh marketing would be my file name. It just makes it, the easier you make it for me to grab and to save, the less time I have to worry about that, and I can really be in a good mood when I grade your work. We use the headings, just like I've shown you earlier. We use headings and bullets. We look at 1.15 spacing to 1.5. This is really the best spacing, 1.15. And of course, we're all using a computer. It must be done in Microsoft Word. We are not submitting a text answer. You're submitting a file. You're going to do that in one of your Microsoft Word, which we give you for free at Tarrant County College, Microsoft Office. You can do it in other programs, but you then convert it to a PDF. Okay, don't send it in Google Docs. Do not send it in Google Docs. Do not send it in Pages or anything else other than a Microsoft Word file or a PDF. And use the 1.15 spacing. It's perfect. 11 to 12 point font is your body text. 14 to 16 for your headings. Please do not use 14 to 16 font for your body text. It makes it very difficult to read. And I'll have to go change it. And then more, I've got to mess with your assignment. That's not making me real happy as I put down grades here. Number the pages. All right, so we're using headings. We are using bulleted short paragraphs. So that's what we really want to look at. We don't want the paper to resemble one long paragraph. I'll just send it back and I won't and said you got to reformat that. We can do it, my friends. A sentence in business writing should never be more than 6 sentences. That's a paragraph. So no paragraphs over 6 sentences. All right, and they should be more than one sentence. One sentence answers are not going to get us any amounts of credit. We've had the time to look at it. We want you detailed answers and strategies. I could just stop hitting that so much. Grammar and syntax, absolutely. This is a finished project, and we all have writing centers on every campus. Citing the sources, all right, this will go through Turnitin. And if we have a 50% match of other sources, you need to rewrite that paper or rewrite parts of it. We can't retweet. We can't copy and paste. I get that a lot, and Turnitin will show that. And anything, again, over a 50% match, generally shouldn't have any matches at all. But if it does, you won't have to rewrite parts of that. All you got to do is research, write down your sources at the end. Again, in a works cited, you really don't need the in-text citations as much as at the end. Just say, hey, these are where the sources I've got it from, and I paraphrased it. Okay, on some of that, but most of it will be in your own words here because it's your own strategies that you've done. Let's look at the grading. It's 300 points. Hey, you know what? Sometimes in life we were busy and we would like to. What can I do to make a B? And here's what you need to do. I start at 80 and go up. I don't start at the grade of 100 and go down in my grading. So minimum word count 1,200 words. Now that is minus any of my own writing. I have a lot of students that try to reiterate the question in. They just copy the question and paste it in and answer from there. I will take that out. I only want to see your words. Use my heading is perfectly fine, but most of it's going to be in your words. So 1,200 words, every question answered adequately. And that's pretty basic right there for the questions that we have. 1,200 words. It's a couple hundred words a section. That's very minimal. But hey, that will get you at least an 80 with every question answered properly. Formatting, grammar, spelling looks good. Formatting. We should get an 80. There we go. Want a bigger grade? Excellent. 1,700 words. All questions answered adequately. Proper formatting, grammar, spelling, syntax. Got an 85. Those who want a 90, wonderful. This is what we've said. Your minimum word count, your words, 2,200. You want the 95, 2,600 words. And my friends, that's where you can use your SWOT analysis. You can do a situation analysis. You can add to this. It needs to be amped up. It has to have a wow factor. Like, hey, this is a really, really great work. Remember, it's 300 points, so it's a big one. That gets you 95. I've had many, many students over my 10 years of teaching that will put in 3,000 to 5,000 word projects. They've started on it, they've worked a little bit each day, and they really detailed it out, and they have amazing formatting, and literally those are the ones that will take that to their interview and say, this is a little sample of my work that I'll put out there for you. I'm not saying you have to do that, but I'm just saying that's what I have had in the past. Now, what if I just I don't even do 1,200 words? Oh, that's not good. Then I get a little upset there. Minimal effort on projects receive minimal grades. Just remember that. Poor spelling and syntax are just not going to get the results that we would like to have. And again, I have another file right in here for the grading rubric right in again. And I have a little example of what it should look like. This is for another class of mine. But again, we're looking at the heading, and we're looking at nice bulleted paragraphs all the way through, and then a works cited page. This was just a quick redaction of one question. And works cited, again, there we are. Even the book should be cited, and most of us are going to be using parts of that book. So this is at least to tell you how you should write it, how you should format it. And now I'm going to tell you and show you how we submit this project. So here we are back on our course, and now here's how we submit this great project. And you probably know how to do this already. I always just come to the syllabus. This says what is still due and when it's due. And this is a fall course, so whenever you take this course, it could be the spring, but the syllabus will always guide you right to the assignment due. And so we hit the marketing plan. I am in the student view right now. Again, there is your plan. All right, that's the project. There's another example in grading rubric, and your video will be right on here as well that I'm doing right now. There's a little canvas that we've gone over in class, is how to brainstorm, how to kind of draw out your marketing plan. And then here's some research right in there. So when you're ready, you have your file, you start assignments, okay, and it brings this down there. We're going to upload a file. That's all we need to do, my friends. We are not pasting any text right in here of an assignment. We upload it, and we're going to choose a file. So here we go. It will lead you to browse your computer. Well, there it is, Randy Saleh, the marketing plan. I'm going to open that up. And if I just try to submit right here without checking this, it won't let me do it. Okay, this is going through the Safe Assign. It's going to basically measure anything that we've written against anyone else's. And so we will get our report. You will get that report as well. You get to look at it when it's finished. So you may want to come back in maybe a half hour or so after you submit and check out your Safe Assign. Again, if it's over 50%, we need to rewrite parts of this paper and make sure we have that great looking works cited page. If you want to add any comments, that's perfectly fine. Like, hey, this is it. What a great experience I've had. I love it. Submit that assignment. Now, very important, we never email. I will not accept an email of any type of project, because here it goes. Yes, check. This is protects us both. It's submitted. There it is. My details are right in here, and it tells me the plan. What you can always do is look at it right there. Make sure that your plan was right. You may have submitted the wrong file. It happens. What if I submit the wrong file? We'll do a new attempt. Okay? And then you upload a file. Another one. Here's what will happen. And this is the one nice thing about Canvas that Blackboard didn't. Blackboard just let you submit like 20 different files, and I would see all 20 of them. This one will only take the last one that you have done. Okay? And so that's the great thing. So again, you can resubmit that, agree, and you can submit the file. So I'll only see your last file right in here when I see it. So that's great. So don't worry if you submit the wrong one. You have many times to put a new one in. But it's kind of like carpentry, you know. We measure 2, 3, 4 times, and then we cut. So make sure everything is in, and you've got your plan, and then you submit it, and I will be alerted, and then we'll start grading it. There it is, my friends, the marketing plan, how to do it. We worked on it, you'll be working on it this semester, and I will guide you through it, and hope that you enjoy this process, because it is the essence of marketing. Can't wait to read your work.